Would I say that Harry Kane is better than Erling Haaland? Welcome to One-2-One with Simon Jordan. Keep leaving your questions and keep the discussions going in the comment sections below. The job that Moshiri's done at Everton has been quite a difficult one because Everton is one of those clubs that's got an enormous amount of history but doesn't seem to have a great deal of presence right now in the Premier League and hasn't had for some time. But to go to the specific question about Moshiri, I think he's gone in there with a lot of money, and I think there's been some decisions that he's made that haven't been the greatest. So I don't think he's done a great job. I don't think it's for the want of trying, and I don't think some of the signings and some of the managerial appointments have been the greatest. I think they've had the best reasons behind them, but we're in an outcome business. So with the best respect in the world to someone that's got more money than I've ever had, I don't think the job that he's done at Everton is producing the kind of level of outcome that the finances he's invested should have dictated. Steven Gerrard has obviously gone up to Scotland with Rangers and broken the dynasty that Celtic had of 9 years of success on the cusp of doing 10. Do I think that that qualifies him to manage in the Premier League? No, I don't, not yet. I think that the league in Scotland is of a certain quality. I'm not going to veer into being disrespectful about it, but I saw the most recent Old Firm derby myself. The quality wasn't there. I think he's learning his trade. I think he's overcome the obstacles at the same time as there's been a descent in Celtic. So whilst there's a lot of noise around Steven Gerrard, I think he's got a long way to go before he gets a high-end Premier League club. Depends. With the Harry Kane scenario, has he been overrated? Well, you can't say he's been overrated on a goal-scoring record because his goal-scoring record has been second to none. Has he built up to heights sometimes as a player that he's probably not at? Would I say that Harry Kane is better than Erling Haaland? I don't know. It's a difficult one. Haaland is scoring ridiculous amounts of goals, and at 21 years of age, I think if you compare a 21-year-old Harry Kane to a 21-year-old Erling Haaland would come out on top. I don't think anyone's a £150 million footballer, but I think if you've scored a regular 25, 30 goals a year for the last 2, 3, 4 years, which is what he's done, it's difficult to say you're overrated. Leeds United is a work in progress. I mean, Radrizzini is a very smart cookie. He comes from a background of media, so he understands the ideals behind the Premier League and the ideal and opportunity behind Leeds United. He's got a tiger by the tail because I think previous owners of Leeds have tried and not quite got it. Ken Bates tried and took it in and out of pre-packs, and you had the lunatic Italian that was in there for a period of time. So I don't think you can buy Leeds right now because I don't think it's for sale. And if it were for sale, it wouldn't be for sale at, say, the price that Newcastle have gone for. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point if Leeds finds itself part and parcel of someone's interest, but I'm not surprised that the journey in re-establishing Leeds after 16, 17 years off the main stage hasn't resulted in someone wanting to buy it. I think it will result in more investment and maybe some dilution from the current owner, but not necessarily the subject of a major takeover. I'm not a great one for wanting to follow in other people's footsteps. I'm a great admirer of Alan Sugar's. I think he's a character. I don't always think he says the greatest of things, but I think The Apprentice has its own unique values. I'd rather do something different and better than what Alan's done. Don't forget to keep leaving your questions in the comment sections below, and next week I want to hear from the loons on the toon.